All right, so this reading here is going to be for February of 2023. This is going to be a look at what lies ahead in the month of February for 2023. We've got 3 different piles to choose from here. I'm going to let you take a look at each of these piles. Normally, your first instinct is correct. If there's one of these combinations of cards and crystals that you feel more drawn to, then that's the pile for you. Go with that one. If you feel drawn to more than one, there might be a message for you in both. So just take what you need from each reading and leave what you don't. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to show off a little bit of each of these crystals, if that helps you to kind of decide here. And to get a feeling for this one. This one's very interesting. And today I'm just going to let you pick these by feel. We're not going to talk about their names or their meanings or any of that stuff or what decks these are. I just want you to feel this one out. So take a look at these. Decide if you are pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3 for February. And then feel free to go ahead and jump to your part of the reading. All right, if you chose pile 1, this is going to be your reading today. I'll put my light on there, see how that looks better. If that looks better. So if you chose pile 1, this is going to be your reading today. We're going to be focusing on career, relationships, which could be intimate relationships or just close interpersonal relationships, family, friends, doesn't matter. And then your own personal life, your inner growth journey, your spiritual development. So that's going to be this section here. So your career, or how you are seen out in the world, how you engage out in the larger world for February 2023. We have the Ace of Swords reversed, the 10 of Wands, and then the 6 of Pentacles reversed. So, as far as your career goes, there's been some difficulties lately. You are at a point where you feel like you're stuck and you do not see with your mind, you do not see an intellectual way forward. Like you don't have the spark or the idea of something that you can start new, something that you can do different. But you also are at a point where you can't go any further with what you've been doing. And you feel like the efforts that you've put into it have not given you the financial reward and gain that they should have. Like the harvest didn't come through. So it looks like for February, you're experiencing some difficulties, some challenges, some difficult emotions in your career or the way that you're seen out in the larger world. Let's look at your personal relationships. Now this card actually came out sideways when it came out. It didn't necessarily come out upside down or right side up. And it kind of felt sideways. So we're keeping it. We're going with it for that part of the reading. You have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You have the 4 of Wands, which is... we're counting it sideways. It's not really upright or reversed. And then you have the 8 of Cups. So basically there's kind of a lot of options that could happen. There's some uncertainty within your relationship this month. You may be experiencing feelings of sadness or loss, and you may be focusing on something that you've had to walk away from. You can either have an unexpected turn of events this month, or you may feel like the possibilities that you hoped were there aren't necessarily panning out, aren't necessarily there anymore. Also, the foundation that you were hoping to build and the celebration that you were looking for in connection with other people, it's not quite upright, it's not quite reversed, there's a feeling of uncertainty. it's unsure if it's going to pan out and if it's going to be there. So unfortunately, pile one, we are seeing some uncertainty in the realm of close interpersonal relationships in the month of February. So let's look at your inner growth journey, your spiritual development, your personal growth, your inner experience this month. So we have the Three of Swords reversed, the Daughter of Swords reversed, which is also the Knight, and the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay. So as much as these are not great cards, this does make me a little bit more hopeful, because what you've been going through in these areas, I get the impression that you may have been going through this for a while now, and that this is indicating the end of a cycle where you have decided you are no longer going to tolerate certain things. You are no longer going to tolerate pain and abuse. You are no longer going to tolerate your heart being hurt. You are no longer going to, there's a lot of swords here. This is very mental, but it's also very, very intense. So, I mean, there is emotional connection, even though these are mental level cards. But you've basically made this strong decision within yourself that you are no longer going to feel the way that you have felt before. You are no longer going to make the decisions to put yourself in the place to be treated the way that you were before. You are not going to be naive and blind to the lessons that you've learned. You don't feel like, in this instance, in this month, you don't feel like you've obtained the level of wisdom that you truly have obtained. Now, this is a inner perception. I feel like the perception that I get is that this will be the Queen of Swords, or the King of Swords shortly. This is something that you're growing into. But for right now, you feel at a loss for inner wisdom. You feel at a loss of messages of what you should be doing to resolve this situation. You feel at a loss of clarity. The feeling that I get going forward is that the answers to this are coming. The resolution to this is coming. But unfortunately, February does look like you're going to be addressing some difficult thoughts and actions this month. A lot of this, there's a ton of swords in this reading. So you're doing a lot of thinking about a lot of stuff this month. But there's a little bit of other stuff in there at play too, that have to do with your actions, your emotions, the material world. So it does tie everything in, but a lot of what's happening this month is mental, and you may not be in the best mental space this month. I'm going to spread these out a little bit so you can see. You may not be in the best mental space this month with everything that's going on. But this is sorry about the dogs barking there, guys. They bark for anything. But you're in a healing point. You're doing the shadow work. You're doing the deep, dark inner work. And you're at a point of healing. And even though it doesn't feel good right now, it is going to come out better on the other side. So thank you for joining me this month. If you are interested, you can take a look at the Wheel of the Year reading, where we talked about the larger themes of what your soul is learning each month. And that may help bring clarity to the reason for this, to the reason why you seem to be having a difficult month in February. So I hope that you will check that out. There's also an extended if you're interested in diving deeper into it. And then pop back in and check in with me in March, guys, to see how you're doing along this journey and how things have changed. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hello, everyone. If you picked pile 2, then this is going to be your reading for February 2023. First, we're going to look at the area of career and public reputation. So if you're not in an active career right now, then this is more of how people see you in just the general outer world. And it can come up that way either way in a reading, like even if you are currently working. So in the area of career and public reputation, you have Temperance reversed, Justice reversed, ooh, and the Tower. Okay, so you most likely have been feeling like, or will be feeling like, you do not have a proper work-life balance right now. Your inner world and your outer world are not balanced. Something's going wrong here. Again, we see that balance with the scales of justice. Something is not right. Something is not just. And things are very, very unbalanced right now in your career. That's literally two cards that are saying very similar things here. A strong statement of imbalance. Tower card means that there is going to be a sudden change for this, an unexpected change. So you may be having like a Tower card moment that comes in and brings about this unbalance in your career, or the Tower card moment may be what resolves the unbalance. This can go either way, and if you want more information for that, I definitely recommend on which way it's going to go for you. I definitely recommend checking out my Wheel of the Year tarot video, where we talk about the biggest themes that you're going to be learning every month. So that might help give clarity to whether this Tower moment is bringing about the imbalance or resolving it. But one of the other is definitely going to be happening this month in your career and public reputation. This next set is for your close interpersonal relationships. So this could be intimate relationships, this could be family, this could be friends, but your inner circle, your inner world when it comes to other people. So here we have the Page of Wands, the Ace of Swords, but also the Ten of Swords, and the Six of Swords reversed. Okay. So, there's a couple things happening here. I think a lot of times relationships ends up meaning like romantic relationships, your partner. A lot of times when we draw this section in the reading, that's what it talks about. This actually seems like it has to do more with your inner circle as a whole. Family, friends, relationships, like all together. This is basically who you allow into that inner circle in your life, and there's a major change going on here. We see that with both the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Swords. This is you establishing boundaries and deciding who deserves to be in your life, in your close interpersonal circle. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to cut someone out of your life entirely, but you get to decide who has access to which levels of you. And there are some people in your life this month that you are going to be saying, no, you no longer have access to this inner circle level of me. You might have access to this level, or this level, or maybe not at all. But you definitely no longer have access to this inner circle level of me. You are setting strong boundaries against someone or a group of people that have not been conducive to being a part of to being a part of your inner world. Somehow they've lost that privilege. This card right here means the end of that rest period. You've been thinking about this. This has mentally been churning for you for a long time, and you've taken the time and the time to go inward and to really analyze this situation and these people and the effect they're having on you. And now you're coming out of that cycle of rest to take the action that's needed. So this is not something that's just willy-nilly happening out of nowhere. You've given this a lot of thought, or you're giving it a lot of thought this month, and then you're making your decision. On the other side of that spectrum, there are going to be people coming into your life, new relationships, new actions, new messages that are coming in, and they are going to be good for you. This is going to be mentally, all the things that were draining you from these relationships you're going to be finding the people that fulfill you in these new ones. So there's going to be a balance here. There's going to be people coming in and there's going to be people going out, but you are readjusting your inner circle this month, thinking about it, but then also taking the next steps of taking action after just the analyzing. You're not getting stuck in analyzing phase with it. You're doing it intelligently, but you're establishing boundaries. first and foremost. And it's going to do you good because it's going to get rid of the people that don't need to have access to your energy, and it's going to bring in and allow space for the people that do, and that are gonna uplift you and that are gonna help you through that into this new phase in your life. They're gonna better serve you for it. So this last pile has to do with your own personal growth and development, your inner world, yourself. These other piles have to do with other people, and this is the outer circle, career, the public reputation. This is the inner circle. Now this is you. This is your own journey this month. And we have here, oh, okay, this is funny. This came up actually the other way when I first drew it. So we've got the Empress, the 10 of Coins, the 4 of Wands, and the Knight of Coins. So these are actually, these first two cards, I believe, are very closely interrelated to this turmoil that you are having in your career, this Tower moment. Basically, it means what you saw as a wealth of future stability is being overturned. You're feeling unstable financially and materially and in the physical world because of this imbalance, this disturbance, this unexpected events that are happening. You also feel like you're not able to care for yourself as well, like you're not able to create what you want in this world because some of these things are happening. Now, you will overcome this, you will get through this, you will come to that point again. There is a good side to this, so there's a little bit of mixed emotions here. This is giving you some trouble this month, and it's causing a lot of inner turmoil and re-evaluation of who you are and what you want to create and where you will find your stability in the world. But this half right here is cause for celebration. It's the message of new opportunities coming in. It's bringing together the people that will support you in this next step of your journey and finding your way. It's also diligent planning for the future, taking an intelligent look ahead so that you can overcome some of the roadblocks that might be being set for you right now, or that you may be experiencing in the month of February. So we're going to be diligently planning ahead. You are going to have support and cause for celebration, especially when it comes to your close interpersonal relationships. Even though, again, it's a mixed bag there. There's going to be some people we're stepping away from, but these people that are coming in are really going to help support you internally through this uncertain time that's happening here. So I hope that this helps you. Again, if you'd like to take a deeper look at what this month means for you, more specifically, please check out the Tarot Wheel of the Year video where I did look into each month of the year and the major themes that we're learning. That may give you better insight for what this means for you in particular. So thank you so much for joining me today. All right, pile 3. This is going to be your pile, if you've chosen this, for February 2023. We're going to take a look at the circle of career and the outer world, how you interact with with society at large, your inner circle, your close interpersonal relationships, and your personal growth and spiritual development, your inner world, and yourself. So taking a look first here at career and or public reputation, this month we have the Nine of Wands, the Emperor reversed, and the 5 of Swords reversed. So you feel like you've been fighting for a long time, and you're ready to lay down that fight at this point. You feel like you've been pushing against the system. You may be someone who rebels against the system, or you may feel like you trusted in the system and the hierarchy and the way that things were going, and it failed you. You may also feel like it was a difficult journey, but you see the rewards at the end of it. So there's 2 different paths that this can take. This can be something where you're feeling defeated, and you're kind of feeling like you're at the end of a journey, you're reevaluating what your next steps will be, or you might feel like you've worked hard and you've overcome a lot of very difficult circumstances. So the feeling here could be of that you're proud that you've overcome this and that it's coming to an end. So those are kind of the two different pathways that this may take for you this month, pile 3, in the realm of career and or public reputation. As far as close interpersonal relationships, we have the Sun in reversed, we have the 7 of Cups reversed, and we have Judgment reversed. So there's something going on here where you may be feeling a bit sad or disillusioned lately. There may be some misunderstandings between you and the people that are closest to you. You may feel like you're being judged. You may be judging yourself harshly, or you may be judging others harshly or unfairly. But you're not seeing things clearly in your close interpersonal relationships. And it's leading to some sadness, some turmoil, some discontentment there. You're feeling like not all of the options are open to you in your close interpersonal relationships, or you feel like you may be, being deceived, thinking things are too good to be true, or that you had hoped for something. Maybe like you were putting something or someone up on a pedestal, and now you're seeing a little bit more of the reality of the situation. And it might be, a little jarring, not quite what you expect. Now, the Sun reversed is never really a bad card. It's always good, even if it's reversed. So there is hope here. This is not like the end of the world type of thing. It may just be, perhaps you were, starting a new relationship. You had like that rose-colored glasses, and now maybe the rose-colored glasses are coming off. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing or that you're in a bad situation, but it does mean that you're taking a more realistic look at it in that case. For your personal growth and spiritual development, your inner world, you have the Queen of Wands, deciphering where you are going to put your energy, knowing where you want to place your action, and being very powerful in that. The Fool, starting over in a lot of ways, and basically taking a fresh look at things, regardless of what area of your life that applies to, or if it's just your inner world and how you approach life. You're taking a fresh look at things. You're stepping back and realizing that you didn't know everything, or you're starting again in a new way. With the Knight of Pentacles reversed, you may feel like messages, support, material especially, that you want or need is not coming to you fast enough. Now that may tie into some of the struggles that you're seeing here. The rewards for all of your fighting and your effort, they're not coming in fast enough, and you want them to, and you're feeling that lack deeply inside, like that's on your mind, that's worrying you on a deep inner level, and it could be affecting other things in your life as well. That's going to depend on person to person. And then the Chariot reversed. This is a wanting to leave, wanting to run, wanting to avoid a difficult situation, but deciding not to. Deciding to take a more patient, wisdom-filled approach. This is like if you had a tendency of running away in the past, or a trauma that you're overcoming, whether it be in relation to a pattern shift between relationships or between jobs or just within yourself. If you feel like things aren't working out and you want to just jump into something new, you're overcoming that pattern. You may feel it inside of you, but here the Queen of Wands upright is kind of overriding this, where instead you're going to be more decisive about where you take your action, more thoughtful, more sure of yourself, moving forward in all these different areas of your life. So I hope that was helpful for you, Pile 3. If you would like to get a little bit more clarity on how this specifically may play out for you, please feel free to go back and check out my Wheel of the Year reading. I'll link it at the end of this video or in the comment, in the details below, and that gives an overview of each of the larger lessons that you're going to be learning for each month. So that may give you a little bit more insight, more detail into how these more mundane issues will play out for you on a larger scale. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you for joining me today.